Boom. Now, you see how he's got palm up? With his palm up, he's able to extend his arm all the way out to get me to rotate. If for whatever reason he holds on, come back over here, get your mitigation. Okay, and for whatever reason he keeps his palm down this way as he goes to rotate me over. Boom. Boom.
Not good.
Palm up.
I was about to get counter thrown right there.
Okay, yeah. So palm up. Boom. Heel up, I'm up in the air. He rotates the other way. Rotate your palm down. Rotates palm down, and he's in a pushing posture. Your body has a bunches of muscles that work different ways and different things, and they all have different functions to do. Palm up is a lifting posture. It's a pulling posture. Palm down is a pushing posture. So if you're coming over here and you're doing palm down, your body's send a message automatically to the brain, push. You're doing a palm up, the message is being sent to the brain, pull. That's why I could never understand pull-ups. Why are they putting your hands this way, which is a pushing posture, and telling yourself to pull yourself up? When I was a little fat kid in elementary school, I still could, to this day I can't do pull-ups. I can do chin-ups all you want, but don't ask me to do pull-ups. They said, oh, because it's working the triceps muscles, and I'm going, no, it's not, you're just being mean. Okay? You want to watch a little fat kid struggle, I know, so everybody can laugh, okay? I'm still in therapy for this, too, doing pull-ups, okay?
When you're hanging off a cliff or out a window, you can't reach through like this. You have to learn to hang out of windows like this.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it's about.
You would know about that, being a private investigator, having to bail out windows real quick, wouldn't you?
That was probably learned earlier back then.
Okay? But if you watch his body, if you watch John's body as he rotates, if y'all like to play with this for a minute with your partners as you're working on this, when he gets to here, he's correct posture, and this thing is acting as an outrigger for me over here. He's kind of sort of counterbalanced. If he does anything else with that hand, just drop your hand. Whoa. Raise your hand. He now has posture and balance. Now I'm pulling on my arm right here. I'm pushing on it, actually this way. John lowers his hand. Yeah.
You're pushing John.
Yeah. He's holding me up with this arm. I'm trying to get my arm back, and he's not letting me with his left hand. And as soon as he drops his hand to say, I'll show you, round eye, boom.
Eat it.
Uh-huh. But if he keeps that hand up and then says, no, you're not going anywhere, and so then I say, fine, I come up, and that's when he blasts me. If you keep the palm up, you have this nice, wonderful posture. He's all right. Okay. Okay? And you can see the gears turning over here with our sword guys. You know, when we do this, we go, shh. And, you know, it's like, well, this is a palm down posture. Yes, but I'm grasping because I'm getting ready to push. You're not supporting over here. You're not being a balance motion out here. Now, when you do your chiburi, there's a palm up, but only because you're fixing the flex. Yeah, there's a palm up when you do this. Get these palm up motions. Okay? But in this particular case, palm up creates all the posture in the world. As soon as you do this, you start to slouch. If y'all like to feel this on yourself, you can go ahead and do it. You do palm up, then rotate the palm down, you feel your whole upper torso start to slouch.
You're making a weight drop with that sword. That's why the palm of the hand's turned over.
Uh-huh.
And he's not making a weight drop right here.
Mm-mm.
This is merely a get out of the way and hold myself up and hold this down.
Right. Okay? Any questions on that one? We have one more, and then we'll take a break. This one's an easy one.
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me at the survival camp that we went to, a self-defense camp. The kids made it all the way through the route, and so they get to my station, and she has a bunch of nasty questions that she can ask. She had 2 lists, and so she makes it through, and she says, the witch, I'm in this costume, she says, do you want the easy questions or the hard questions? And the young lad in his infinite wisdom said, the easy questions. And everybody else that was there with her, the witch, and all the prisoners said, you idiot! No, don't ask for the easy ones. Too late. Too late. Don't ask for the easy ones. May I please have the hardest question you have? Oh, okay. Well, he's gung-ho. I'll give him something easy. Okay. The next one, we need to turn this way, I think, just a hair. This about right? The next one is another one that people never listen to what I say. John was the first person, when this first time he was learning this, he actually heard what I said. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. He's going to come. He's tried to hit me. He's tried to smack at me. He's tried to hit me up here. He's tried to punch me. He said, that's not going to work, so I'm just going to drag him into the other room with my friends. Let them take care of it. So what he does is he stands here and he grabs both my hands so I can't do anything. Now, here's where most people make the mistake, but never mind, I'll keep going. What I'm going to do is, as he up, I turn my hands and then I push to the ceiling. Okay? Y'all ever seen that smiling Buddha? He's got his hands up in the air like this and he's got the big fat belly. Okay? Does this look familiar? Okay?
That's frightening. I've seen that.
You should ask for royalties too.
I should, huh? Need to shave my belly though. Take a bath in there or something.
Does this mean we get to rub your belly every day?
You get good luck. That's right. We'll have good luck. So, John grabs, picks me up. Now, as soon as he grabs the hands, I'm turning my fingers in, and as he picks me up, I rise and come to the top. Now, there's a little fine-tuning that takes place over here. The first thing is, as you're rising, don't bend your arms. You're going to be trying to bench press, and John's leaning on you, and it'll never happen. Matter of fact, you have a hard time getting Natalie over your shoulders if you do this. So, the first thing that happens is he grabs the hands, I'm here, and then I do this. Ching. You'll see what happened to his arms. If you can't see, try to zoom in or something, get closer. As he's taking my hands, I'm doing this. And that has locked his elbows a little bit together. Caused a little bit of weakness. Can y'all see that? Isn't that cute? Just see? Now but it's so subtle, it happens so quick, he has a hard time even feeling this. So now he goes to pick me up. And now here's where most people make the mistake. They try to do this. And they end up looking like this. And John says, well, thanks a bunch. Okay? And he ends up, or all sorts of hammer-fisted back in the head, okay? With his hot keto background, he says, spin the folded mutilate. So, what you want to avoid is bending those elbows and trying to bench press. John grabs, flick, whoosh. Now, the push happens with the body, not with the hands. So I can't have my hands up here, then try to raise up once again because you fall back into this. Your hands get stuck here, then your body rises into your hands. And you're stuck here again. Did I tell you this is easy? Again, it's one of these rising with the body motions, not leaning forward. Don't you hate that? Everybody's thighs hurt. So John grabs, boom, turn, whoop. Now, at the top of this motion, as I've reached the top, I relax this left hand just a little bit. Now, if you look at the line of his feet, I've created an off balance slightly to his rear perpendicular. He now makes an adjustment to his front perpendicular to counter that. I move out of the way. Push with this hand, push with this hand, catch the knee, fling. You need to see it from another angle or anything? Okay? Everybody need to see it again? We'll do it kind of sort of slow, non-stop again. Get off this piece of tape. Okay, John grabs, flick, whoosh, boom. Isn't that fun? You can almost do it without doing anything else with that. One more time. That's why you raise the other arm. Oh, Miss Louise, what happened? I don't know. I don't care. If I didn't raise this other hand, I would have been gotten boot to the head. It would have hurt. He comes up, zip, to here. Probably what happened was, as we got to here, I may have slightly over-rotated, possibly, or relaxed his hand, possibly just a little bit, causing him to fall on top of me. But either way, this hand is up here, because when he goes to go, this hand is pushing, and look what happens. I have my protection. See that? I'm protecting my head with this arm. If I had not had it up here, I decided to get it to here, then drop this arm, I would have gotten a boot to the head that would have hurt really bad. Then Harry would have to give the rest of the seminar. But he's not here, so we'd have to call him in.
He's a bum.
Okay? I couldn't begin to tell you what happened. There's so many couldas. I don't know. I'm not going to analyze it. I'm just going to say, let's try it again.
I'm glad Harry's not here.
Okay? One more time.
Yeah.
Now, people that are going to become teachers, and this happens during your class, learn from your mistakes. Don't admit. Do not admit that you didn't make a mistake. Teach from your mistakes. Okay? People say, oh, since I made a mistake. Yeah, that's right. I'm not human. That's right. Humans are perfect. Humans are perfect. They do everything the exact same way every time. It's machines that screw up. It is never the operator's error. It is never the operator. That operator, when he hit that button on that thing and then tried to cancel it and do something else, never screwed up that machine. So the human says, you stupid machine. Right? Humans are perfect. Yep. One more time. I'll try to do it the correct way this time. There you go. Now, I just realized what I did wrong the first time. I brought him way too far over my head this way and pulled him into it. Once I did it the right way, I go, oh, that's what happened. When I got to the top, instead of stopping right here over my head, I went here over my head, which pulled him right into me, so that when I opened up, he's like right on top of me. But I had to do it the correct way to figure out what I did wrong the last time. Okay, any questions on that? Don't forget to breathe. Real important to breathe. Otherwise, you're bench pressing again, and you're going to stop. Now, I'll tell you what happens too. Everybody, when they're learning this, they say, Mr. Williams, I reached this moment of I'm right here, and I reached this moment of That's true. You'll feel that because he's kind of sort of leaning on you. That's why you have to create the off balance. You just kind of sort of work through that one little moment. Didn't the shuttle do that? When it launches, it goes like this, and then they power back just a little bit. They relax just a little bit to break through that little barrier, then they go full throttles once again. Isn't that how that works? Like 105%, then they throttle back to like 90% to break through some little barrier, then they go full speed ahead once again. At least something to that effect.
Something to that.
That's the same thing here. As you're coming up, in this little moment of resistance, so you don't push a little bit harder, you just relax a little bit.
Brandon,
Man.
what you're also doing is you're moving your hands now like that.
Yeah. That's how I'm creating the up balance. I'm opening up that. I'm opening as I get to the top. I'm starting to open, do this spread. That's exactly right. And it creates this, I feel this resistance right here, and I just move this hand over here. And now from here, I've created an up balance to his front corner. Once that up balance to the front corner's happened, I'm free to blast through the rest of the way with this hand. That is correct. But I'm not trying to just power through to go, and get him, and boom, and then all of a sudden John's on. If I power through, he's like, oh, okay,
That's good.
and then I'm SOL. John comes through, get that resistance, I open up and get out of the way. Questions on that? This will be the last one. We'll take a lunch break. There's a giant Chinese down the way, just down the street, around the corner. All you can eat Chinese buffet and sushi.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Okay? Any questions on that?
Chinese pizza.
No.
No, it's real pizza.
No.
American
Okay, try that. For this afternoon, I'm the other half of the neon pads for a little bit. We'll come back to them later. So those of you who went out and bought pads, don't fret. We are going to. I'm going to skip to the first of the standing, so that not both parties were kneeling, then one party kneels, and then the other party stands. So we go skip to the standing section. Hopefully it's not going to confuse anyone too much, but I'm trying to go your knees as much as possible. Tomorrow we'll go back to the knees and back up to the other half of the kneeling. So we're just going to a little bit. Okay. So, okay. This there you go. Right about there. Too far. You move your right ones. Okay. This next series, what's going to happen is you've done all this other stuff, and you finally just move across the floor, then you both stand up. So now you're both standing up. That was last number 8. You started number 9 and techniques. Okay? What's going to happen is John's going to walk up to me. He's going to grab my lapel with his right hand. Chest hairs and all. I'm going to go, close on my toes, and then he's going to try to deep on himself. Okay? Now this is where it gets sort of complicated. It used to be to pull your gi out and lash it over the top. Turn this way for just a minute. To control the hand, my gi out. To latch it over the top, it's not going to happen. But you don't want to grab it either. You want to hand. So what I usually do is I pull my gi up just enough to get this little pocket in here like this. And I just put my thumb over. I just want him here to my chest. Somehow I know this secured right here. Okay, so I'm not theoretically. This is supposed to happen, something to this effect. And I can't get that gi up enough to do that. I just raise the gi and I just put my hand here, just to latch it there. Now there's a whole series of things that all happen at the same time. This is one. Number 2, you're going to be stepping backwards with your left foot, and you're raising your right hand to do an uppercut, all basically at the same time. Like a down, all happening. Now, don't get yourself in the habit of doing this. Okay? This hand coming to the face actually serves a purpose. You're in the eyes type of thing, so he sees this attack coming to the face. And first comes to words, you're doing an uppercut to his chin. To him to stagger and stumble for just a minute. Aikido has strikes, and Yoshiba called his strikes loving strikes. So it's like, I love you, Maria! That was bad. I think you better than it. Okay? So it's, he grabs, I lock, control, and uppercut. Now we'll turn around for the camera for this in just a minute. Now, this next motion is with this hand I just gave the uppercut to, assuming he's like, ding, staggered for just a minute. I take this hand, rotate it, and latch hold right there. Now, grasp. I should say latch on to, not latch hold up. Latch on to his hand. Now, turn around so y'all can. The next motion is I'm going to, with my right foot, make a one like that. He latches, uppercut, all at the same time. Lock, step, uppercut, latch, rotate. Now, that rotating with my foot and the hand. See it, real simple little, you got dead grip on his wrist. You're not going to be able to get that rotation. Your elbow and arm, this will work that way too well. Here. Okay? You have a wonderful area right here. I'm mawashi. Go to mawashi from right here. Left hand, you're going to raise it up ever so gently. And just sort of drape over where the elbow is. Not your whole arm. Just your wrist area. Drop the hand. I'll try to twist it. Drop the hand. Just like Gaki Gamayate. Here. You're going to pull it in. Just a hair. And then down with the weight of your arm. Lots of pain pressure on his wrist and elbow. Okay? If he's gone that far down, don't end back up. You'd be an idiot if you let him stand up. Okay? If he goes all over, you either take him out backwards now, or you swing around one more time and make sure he goes down. So you're just assuming that boom, 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 in and down, that you release the pressure, and then he's going to start to stand up. He hasn't gone all the way down. And As you now turn into him slightly is the key word here, and with your palm up, step straight into him and push. I've also seen it done off a little bit where you're coming to the outside. It's acceptable, depends on where he steps at the time.
That was pretty committed attack on him.
I made him commit. Don't see that? He stuck his hand up there. I just took that finger and went, yank. Okay. Yeah. Boom. 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 Chink, chink. Okay. Questions on that? You sure, Lisa? Lisa's brain hasn't recovered from the session before lunch yet. Okay, let's do it this way from East Coast. Just straight in right here. Control, uppercut. Now, an uppercut, you have your mouth is actually hitting someone. And those of you who've never hit anyone, you don't want to curl your wrist in and do this. You're not. It's a straight hand. Okay, straight up. Stopping at the cherry. Over. Step. In, down. Now, notice I'm dropping and flexing my knees. I'm not like just leaning on his arm. It's a okay? You want to be an Oompa Loompa man all the time. Okay? It was on TV the other day. I love it. Every time it comes on, I have to watch it. I can know everyone. Okay? Good. Try that. If many of you don't get a copy of this tape, I hope you don't get confused because we change the postures all the time. And it's mainly for the sake of camera angle, not for the sake of proper content. So here's what's next. I present a left hand. Boom. John comes out and takes the left hand. I immediately start to effect a fifth release motion. Up. Through. Keeping my hand turned. Rotate. His hand falls right in the spot. And then I push. Now, there's a couple to make this happen. There's several ways of doing this. This is the ancient way. I learned years ago, before all the young whippersnappers came in and got modified this thing to make it work better. Okay. That's why it goes slow and does some weird things. On the fifth release motion, instead of shooting down this way and underneath and coming over here and doing all this, and he's still standing on balance, waiting for something to happen. This is actually the seventh, isn't it? Seventh release motion. Can you edit that fifth release motion to say seventh release motion? So if he comes in, I'm going to effect this motion. I'm going to curl my hand up. I'm going to pick up my foot and fall out this way. The reason I'm going to do that is because I put my foot this way, whereas he has a hard time controlling me, telling me where to put it down this way. And now, the secret part that makes this happen, I'm going to take this foot and dance with it back. And I can step through. I'm going to step back. On hip invert, keeping my hand still turned back, I will hip invert, close this foot, and his hand falls right into place, and then push. See from the other hand, you see it?
Lift up my sleeve.
Okay, here. Drop. Turn. Up. And forward. Okay, let's go this way. Now I know this technique has been modified. Also, if you watch the tape, you can see 1, 2, 3. It's like the USU school. We demonstrate the technique 4 different ways and say figure it out. Did I? 1, 2, 3, 4. What's this one? Yep. That's for everybody. East Coast and West Coast. 1, 2, 3. If you avoid fiddle factor with the hand, and trying to grab his hand, it'll into place. So as soon as we get here, just hold the hand back. Oh, you have to be up bounced. I'm just standing. Just let me. So that as this hand moves, watch this. It falls right into place. If you avoid all fiddle factor, it falls right into place for you. It's when you try to grab it and try to make something, lose your grip every time. Okay? And the other thing is to hear and to step behind him this way. He can work up and push. And Uke is going to be a nice guy and stand there and it will take that hesitation step for you. Okay? He'll actually pause and hesitate for you just long enough for you to go, and then do the left side break fall at that point. Okay? Now, where the modification came in a while back was they said, well, Ukes don't normally stop and wait for you. I said, okay, fine, so just keep walking. And he goes over here, and they went like this, and then they went like this. Which, if you look at another kata, comes right out of another kata. Okay? Questions on that one? Get to try that. Look what I learned this weekend. Okay, the next one is a opposite side lapel grab. Yeah, this side. Okay. Opposite meaning the other hand. Right.
Yeah?
Okay. That's why boards get started. You know, it's terminology. People just don't understand what they said. Okay, what happens on this one? There are two different ways. I teach it two different ways. Okay. One way, but I'll show you the other way because sometimes somebody can't make it work the same way. So I will show you. The first way is as he's grabbed this lapel up in here. I've seen it grab lapel. I've also seen it grab area up in here. I'm not too excited about where you grab as long as it's up in here somewhere. First way is to retreat backwards. You raise your hand just about eye level, shoulder level. Place it on his elbow, and you go 180 backwards. And scoop him into. And then you let him rise. You turn your center back into him and push him backwards. I'll let you do this. Figure out which way works for you. Seems like for every instructor that's out there, there's a different way of doing it. He grabs, retreat, suck him into me, and push. Again, the timing is don't let him latch hold and stand there and go snort though on you. Okay, I'm ready to do something now. If you're going to do that, you may as well do a neat snap kick to the crotch in order to get his grip release. Especially with John, because he's nice on here. I'm nowhere near his face. Okay? So I have to do, again, I have to create that off balance, but I can't smack him in the face this time. Okay? Okay?
Good.
Yeah. So he feels that, well, not that wouldn't actually kick too many poles for the shin. Those of you know his background, he kicks for fun, trying to ring a bell that stacks on the top of him.
I haven't done that in years.
That Thai kickboxing, they have a metal pole up there that's about 2-3 inches away from a wall, and there's a piece of metal plated on the wall, and there's a nail come out at the top of the pole. His job is to kick the pole down here to make the metal plate pop. Ting, ting. And you got to kick this pole with your shins. He paid somebody money to allow him to do that.
Not a lot.
Okay? I'm missing my calling. People pay me to watch them abuse themselves. Cool. So, don't let him snatch hold of you. As he grips, but before he's gotten the posture, you retreat. See where his foot's come down? You want to extend his foot. His foot is re-grab you to go there. I want to take his foot and bring it there. Just widening his base. This hand will scoop to the center. It's not a push down, it's a scoop. And then you relax, and then he comes up, and you push back into it. Again, palm up. Okay? You like, which is my partial way of doing it. My partial way. I am partial to this way. I'm trying to use big words for John so that he won't think I'm totally stupid. Well, so he won't think I'm totally stupid. The other way is, as John is reaching the ground, this part is the same, but what's going to happen is I'm going to step into him and scoop. I like this way better. My own personal humble opinion. Just pushing. Go this way for the camera. Yeah, this is the way Ward and Ward and Chuck playing the other way. They couldn't make it work because they're both strong guys, and they weren't making it work. So I said, well, try this. And they say, and they both like flying. So they said, ooh, I like that. So now that's all they do on each other. And so you just barely start like getting everyone on it. So from here, he grabs, scoop, and step into him. Just like that. And then
Involuntary sound and everything.
right. Now from here, don't let him sit. If he goes all the way down to the knee, don't let him just push. Don't let him stand up. Questions on that? It's fun. Thing is, don't push on either one of these methods, no matter which way you want to do. You're not coming here and pushing to the floor. You're scooping. Scoop this to his elbow. Pushing, I'm fighting this box strong arm over here. The scoop, I change the angle of that elbow. So I'm digging a divot out of the dirt here. Big tag. Okay? Questions on that? Alright, get up and try it. Thank you, sir. This one has seen many different names. Reverse Kodagaishi, Kote Kojiki, that's my particular name for it. That's the way I learned it. I don't know. One day I'll learn Japanese and actually learn what the real name for this is. It's probably got a German name, but it's Japanese like this. Japanese way, they like to make long phrases out of a simple statement. Okay? This, you have to be comfortable doing break fall. A long time ago, let me back up in history. A long time ago, I don't know if Harry remembers this or not, but we used to do the fourth and second release motions by retreating on it. I mean, you might remember those days, but I don't know. Harry should. The second release motion was you'd be here like this, and you come through and you go and do all these. Okay, you remember those? This particular thing refers back to those days. Okay, now see people, this cocky, you go, oh, you don't do a fourth release motion like that. Well, not anymore. So this is a flashback to the old days. Back up toward me. This is a flashback toward those days. I'm going to do the fourth release motion as he grabs this way. Just offline, pick up my foot and step. As he steps, I'm going to hip invert back, raise my arm, feed the needle, thread the needle. Okay? As John comes toward, he's going to turn around because he's about this time, he's saying, oh no, this place to be. And he's going to turn, and I'm going to straighten my posture, and we're going to stop right here. This is the built-in safety part of the technique. Theoretically, John got toasted seconds ago, before he was allowed to turn and get to this position. Theoretically, technique was over there. But then if I do that, then he won't be able to finish the kata with me anymore. There you go. Disposable uke. What are we up to? Number 7? Okay. Okay. So we have to put this little safety factor this morning here. So we come up over here and we thread it. Now we give John the opportunity to position to do a nice clean break fall. Okay. Now again, there's a safety for this fall here. You can't be in a hurry from here and say, okay, John's ready, boom, and lead him into the throw. Okay. So what you're going to have to do, again, this needle thing here is don't try to grab his hand. His hand plays for you. So as John picks up his foot and steps, I pick up my foot and I step, and we both go bend over just a little bit, depending on the height of the person I'm working with. On John, I probably won't go this far. A nice big front rolling break fall, and I'll hold on to him. Ready? Step. Okay? Now, if your partner, I don't know if anybody's in here is comfortable, partner's not comfortable with falls, you do the step and you extend your hand out and up. But you got to tell them in advance. You got somebody who's waiting to take a break fall and you let go and do this, and then everybody goes away crying. They empty the rest of the bottle of Motrin out of the drawer. Okay, we call Dr. Beecher, emergency at the dojo. Okay? This way. Try to do it non-stop.
It happens.
Yeah.
Ever been a different technique?
Yes.
Not one ours.
Do. Okay. Secret is don't get in a hurry. If you do judo, you can see all the nasty systems. Lisa's like going, ooh, ooh. Okay? They just pop out at you and say, ooh, excuse me, please, please. But take your time with it. Step. Now, one thing that'll help you out too is don't stand in his line of attack. It's not this. It's this. Is this motion look familiar to anybody? All that once.
It was in a movie, I think.
Okay. Now when you get to here, if you want to adjust your posture, that's fine. Okay, we're at the safety part now. As far as taking the hand, John and I are going to deal down for this one here. I'm going to let John do a nice cheesy little roll out here, but I didn't want to do it from the air. I keep my hand right here. I'm giving him support on the elbow. As he rolls, I'll do a big roll, just do a roll. My hand falls, boom. His hand will rotate in the palm of my hand, and that's when I can catch that contact at the very end. You don't try to grab and do anything else. You have the other hand to do the grabbing with if you need it at that point. But his hand will roll, and you can right out of my hand. Or in, rotate around. Just like this one, where you keep your hand open, it falls into place. This is the same thing. Go do it now. Just a cheesy roll. It's a cheesy roll. Okay? Now granted, this is ground, but I wanted to go slow so you could see that I'm not doing anything with my hand. Okay? Questions on that?
Real ones.
I know. Who's on that? Want to see it one more directly? Okay. Try that.
Her shirt is bigger. She went well there.
They damn Harry right.
Yep.
All you have to do is invoke his name. Things look messed up.
It's good. Great. Right. Everybody ready for part two? Do you need to stretch your knees a bit? Yeah. Let's just. Everybody need to do a roll out or two to shake down your burrito and your lower intestines.
Stop it. Think about that.
We're doing kneeling.
Okay. I'm going to back up a little bit and jump back to number 5, which is the second, actually it's the first set of the kneeling. 1, 2, 3, and 4 has Duque and Tori both kneeling. 5, 6, 7, 8 has just Tori kneeling down. So Duque gets to take a break every other technique here, every other practice time. Okay. This next set we just discussed where I took Duque, and we took the thing and went zip, 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 and then sent him out over this way. And he did roll out. Okay? So now he's going to come up behind me and attempt to get me in, these aren't quite stretched yet, attempt to get me in Hadake Jime. He walks up right foot, right hand, and then he steps on my toes because he can't see me. Just as his hand is going around my throat, I have to bring up both hands tight here, and Raja, both hands straight down, boom. Okay? I rotate this hand here, but not to bring my elbow up because he'll take the elbow if I do that. So it's just enough rotation of the wrist, that elbow will have to move a little bit unless you're just really super flexible. Here and here. This hand here rotates here. So I'm just bringing my thumb under, and then I push straight out. And as soon as John's arm goes over my hand is when I pop up, keeping the arm straight. He feels the wrist lock at that point, says, oh crap, and starts to back up to get away from the pain. I bring it back to a point where the wrist lock hits again. Now from here, I bring him straight to the ground, keeping, to the camera, keeping Kota Hinari on that wrist lock. Can you see it, cameraman? Okay, I keep that motion. We'll do it the other way in just a second. From here, you sort of rock forward into it and raise your hand to do the strike. Okay. A little rock forward isn't quite necessary. If somebody has tight wrist, you don't really need to get that. But if they're sort of limber and you start to get that rock, if you just sort of get a little eek into it, it starts to bend the arm just to tweak a little bit. It tightens everything up. So depending on the wrist. If y'all are doing this with Ward, all you gotta do is think about doing the wrist lock and he'll be tapping, okay? You don't even have to touch it, you just go, and he'll tap for you. He has very tight wrist. Okay, so let's get this connector in here. For the sake, hang on, I'm turning a little bit here. There you go. So as John comes up behind, just as I sense his hand coming around my neck, back up a little more, we'll go really slow. Just as his hand is coming around my neck, I bring my hands up, drop my chin just a little bit, pull, rotate, and push. Now, if you get to here, if you get to here, and he's already got that thing sunk in real life, you're going to have a really hard time doing this. So that's when you need to resort to judo. You roll backwards and break his kneecap, or drop forward and twist, and hopefully go into something else. Okay? But if he's got this sucked in and you're sitting here, and you're not going to go, because he's going to be going, if he knows how to do Hidake Shime, he's going to be squeezing your head like a zip. And you go, okay? Like the movie Scanners. Okay? That's what's going to happen if he's doing Hidake Shime right. So, as he comes in, boom. And again, you can't look, you got to kind of sort of sense and feel. He may or may not make contact with this other hand. Remember, he's trying to do, for the sake of the camera, he's doing Hidake Shime by this. He's trying to lock both those hands together. This grip on the fingers is what I need to break. That. Okay? But if he's got it locked in, go ahead and suck it in, but don't do the choke. If he's got it locked in, I'm not going to break that for anything. It's not going to happen. Okay? Henry might be able to. I can't. Okay? Your coal miner from Alabama might be able to. I can't. So I need to make sure that just before that gets locked in and sucked down, that I'm breaking. Rotate and push. Come up and down. Wrist lock. Okay. Okay. Y'all need to see it from this way once again, or any other way? This way. Oh, just for the sake of grins, by the way, let me show you this neat little thing that I discovered accidentally. I'm going to have just a little bit here right now. Yeah, just in here. I discovered this accidentally several years ago, and as I started teaching this, people go, oh, well, that's really cool. And it has to do with Kazushi, of course, my favorite subject. I discovered that when I get this motion here, and his hand comes up, you won't see this in any textbook anywhere. This is a Ray Williamsism. The hands come up. Now, all of a sudden, I do a reverse pelvic thrust with my hips. And that causes him to start rocking forward, ever so slightly, creating enough off balance for me to make sure that I can break that grip. It's really fun. When you get a chance out there to try this, just try going tink with your pelvis, and he rocks forward, and then you can break that grip. It's fun. I discovered it strictly by accident. And all I'm doing without him here, all I'm doing is I'm here, and I'm doing this. I don't know if you can even see my pelvis. It's just moving. That. A reverse pelvic thrust. And that little bitty tink sends everything and him going forward. For whatever reason, I couldn't tell you. Hey, y'all want to say one more time facing him directly? Okay. Okay, John. Okay. Questions on that? Don't go that fast. Go real slow when you try this first, okay? All right, thank you. Try that. But I'm going to be down.
Your left.
Okay, come
strikes.
yeah, come a little bit more to the front angle. Okay, the next one, as he's here, Uke is going to try to travel down the angle of my knees and try to pick me up by grabbing my wrist. So as I'm down here, he comes in, boom, he's right in line with my leg here, which is really a weak, kind of sort of a weak spot for me, because if he pulls me, I'm being pulled to that front corner where I have no brace. Y'all remember the thing about judo, when you're on ground like this, boom, 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 you got to take away a leg at the table? Well, if he's taken away this leg all of a sudden over here. So if I'm sitting here, I'm down, he's taking me out over this corner where I have no support. So if I do this, I still have no support there. Okay? So that's what he's thinking he's going to do. If he comes to any other angle, he's in a strong, out even over here, as he comes, I have to move, go ahead, I have to move my hand across to try to do something. Now I've crossed my center, which is a weak posture, and I'm having to maybe even lean on him to do something to defend myself. If he comes in front, he just opens up for a punch, obviously, or didn't just do, and it hurts really bad. Okay? So he comes to a weak side where all I can defend is his one hand, and he's grabbed that one hand. So he comes down the line of my knees. You're too far out. Down the line of my knee. There you go. He comes down the line of my knee. As he takes the hand, I switch it and bring it to my center. Real quickly. And then with my other hand, we're going to turn around just a minute. I'm doing this with the camera first. With my other hand, I'm going to bring it around and just drape over the back of his wrist. Can the camera see that okay? From here, zip. Now it's not 1, 2. It's both happening together. Now, from here, I push my little finger out to get that wrist lock on his hand. It's causing, actually, it's a finger lock more than a wrist lock. Okay? And then I push straight out in a giant arc over my head, causing him to turn. He'll take 2 steps. Now from here, ooh, he set up for Kote Kuchiki instead of Shihonage. Okay? At this point at the top of the pile over here, at this point at the top of the pile, I've seen this technique done 2 different ways. Both ways in my book are okay. One is to do Shihonage, where you just stretch him out and bring him backwards and take him down. The other is when he gets right about here, he starts to turn, and you're hitting him with that kneeling Kote Kujiki break form. I'm partial to either way, it doesn't matter, whatever way suits your fancy. If I remember right, Ward and Chuck they like to do the throw because neither one of them were limber enough to do the armbar at the end of the technique of the Shihonage, that big stretch out in there. So they like to take the fall instead.
They just like,
That could be true too. They just like to beat up on each other. So either way at this point is okay in my book. I don't care. Whichever you like to do best. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to do a plain old Shihonage because it's actually easier on me. So get to here. One more time for the camera. Remember, all these motions are big flower motions. They're teaching us, if you remember from Harry's system earlier, what he's telling you, you do this motion, you raise your hand all the way up over your head. One of his techniques, I forget which one it was, but you're raising your hand all the way up, and then you're doing that hand switch at the top. Well, you're basically, in this kata, almost doing that. Basically, almost. Okay? John comes in, takes the wrist, move, grab, push, curl the toes. I don't turn until he has stepped, because otherwise I will trip him like that and bring him down into Shihonage. Okay? Now there is a follow-up on that one. I just had to let it go for a second. Okay? One more time, and then I'll change directions for you. John keeps moving on me, so I have to keep adjusting my angle. Okay. That's it. Ninja boy. That's the karate coming out, isn't it? And then down. From here, you get that wrist lock, but you put the arm all the way to the ground. Pull up, inhale, and threaten the elbow. Okay? This is probably not going to hurt most people. To have your hand like this, it kind of sort of hurts, but depending on how limber they are, it may or may not hurt. But you got to remember, when you're doing kata, as with anything else that's, step 1, step 2, step 3 oriented, you hit the pause button on the videotape at this point, and you go back. You say, now, this tape ends right here. Now, what tape do we want to put in? Uke raises his left hand. Uke raises one leg. Uke raises the other leg. Uke turns into me. Uke turns right. Let's plug that tape in at this point. Because if you're just doing kata on somebody, yeah, this isn't going to work. But he has to cross his body to do something else with the other hand, in which case you go back to the first technique that you had at the beginning of the kata. If he raises a leg on you for whatever reason, he likes to kick, boom, you got his hand coming up, you just hook it over, and then latch it around you, and go pink into the eyes or something like that.
It's ugly.
Yeah, from there it just gets ugly, you just tie up like a pretzel. So remember when you're doing this and somebody says, oh, that shit doesn't work, well, that's true. You can't hold me down from here. That's right. I'm not trying to. If I really wanted to be nasty, as soon as I got here, I'd stand up on your elbow and stand up with it. Okay? Because I don't want to be around for your friends. I don't want to see what the rest of the videotape says. Get up. Okay? Let's go this way. Down right where
Right where I was.
you were pointing. Okay? Questions on there? You try that? Or actually, it's like sleeve. Front lapel. No, well, sleeve, front lapel, anywhere right there, yeah. But not lapel itself. Okay, the next one. Obviously, that didn't work, he says, so fine. So I'll try the other side. Again, he comes down the line of my knees, but this time with his left hand, and he grabs the outside of my arm over here and tries to pick me up. And now I'm SOL because, again, I have nothing to defend myself with, and I fall over, and he gives me a boot to the head. Okay? Okay. A knee to the head. Let's go. Boot to the head.
Could be a high boot. Could be a high boot.
That's right.
That
So-
very right guy would like that.
So what I do is, as he comes in, he starts to pick me up. Don't do anything fancy. It's a knee strike to the inner knee, but you're not going to go and take it out, okay? As much as the temptation is, you don't do that, because this is as he picks you up, you just raise your hand to his knee. You see how he starts my arm moving first? So once my hand is on his knee, now watch. The throw happens with my body rising.
We're just gonna continue to support you for.
No, it's even worse than that. It's even more anatomical than that. What ends up happening, sir? Yeah, it's old man Aikido. He said. What's ended up happening is he's got. You can lower it down. He's got this brace going here. This is so cool. He's got this brace going here, and now in order to pick me up, he's having to drive off that leg and center shift to the other leg. Okay. Now, what I start to do is I start to put a pressure lateral to his push. Okay? So as he's pushing, basically he's pushing down. Okay? He's not really. You have to remember again about anatomy and physiology. Muscles only work one direction. In order for him to push back or pull back, he actually has to push down with another set of muscles. His calf muscles back here are pushing into the floor so that he's driving his toes into the ground. So, so either way you want to look at it, he's still pushing. That's, I guess, a little too technical for our discussion right now. So he's pushing into the ground. He's pushing down. Even though he's trying to pick me up, his leg is pushing down. How's that for the sake of clarification? As he puts weight this way, I put weight lateral to that, perpendicular to that for you mathematician type people. So that his body starts to say, forget this stupid push down thing, and it starts to fight my lateral pressure. So when he goes to fight the lateral pressure, he is now throwing his own self off backwards. Because he is still rocking backwards with the rest of his body. And if you watch this, look, I'm just. And you can see this a little bit better when you want to earn drinks in a bar one day, or just want to make karate folks think that you're like a demigod or some sort of karate camps. That's what I've done before. So as he goes to push at me. He's pushing at me. I used to use my chin, but I don't do that anymore. So, just as he goes to barely touch my body, I'm going to put a lateral pressure to his hand. Now, don't rock with your body, just push with your hand for me, okay? Now, I'm going to put a lateral pressure against his hand. It's a little more. That's right. So I'm going to do it a little bit out here even further, just for the sake so you can see it. You know, right here it's hard to see. So I'm going to do it out here and ask him to like push into my shoulder. Now, why is he going over there? I'm releasing the pressure off his hand. I'm pushing this way with an equal amount of pressure that he's pushing this way. Remember that trick that you see you or she would do, and then he's got 8 people trying to push him over, and he's kneeling down, he's got his hands up? You don't see that one? It's a bar trick. He's doing the exact same thing. He's down here like this, telling all these strong young bucks to push him over. And he's got his hands on his elbows, and he says, I'm sucking the life forces out of everyone. What he's doing, he's pushing up on this first guy. As John goes to push me forward, I'm pushing up. John has now lost all of his backward energy, because I'm going to release one hand. Watch this.
Your key is strong.
That's right. But it's not as strong as Harry Wright's. He is a master. He can hypnotize women and make them want to be molested by him. So that,
It's already happened.
yeah.
Men too, I understand.
Well, anything with a heartbeat, we,
Frightening.
yeah. Anything with a heartbeat will just throws itself at his feet.
Fish love women feel.
So now here he comes. John comes at me, and as he picks me up, I just put that lateral pressure on his kneecap. This is the one that Ward found out works in the swimming pool. He was sitting on the edge of the pool, dangling his feet in the pool, and people tried to push him in, or actually pull him in. He didn't even tell the story one day. People tried to pull him into the pool, and he goes, pink, and just, these people went sailing, and he said, hey, this shit works. Okay? So this is a very easy one. Unfortunately, timing is difficult. There's 2 things that you have to watch out for. One is your uke doesn't come down the correct line of your knee here. Okay, go ahead, John.
Subtle.
Go ahead. Now, the first thing that happens is you see him coming, and the first mistake people make is they take his hand and go, ugh! And they raise that elbow and put that hand there. Well, guess what? By putting a hand here, before he picks you up, he's now braced against you. And then if I push, I throw myself away. Okay? The other thing is to get excited and speed up and go, it's not going to work either. Okay, because now I'm up, now I'm pushing with my hand. If I push with my hand, it's too late because he's already adjusted. I place my hand, just place it, and then use my body to do the rest of the work. If your hand goes any further than out over here, then you use your arm, you pushed him over. Like Harry says, I mean Mr. Wright said, whoever that man over there says, that the observer in Joseki, Mr. McLean says, it's old man Aikido. Okay? The other thing you got to watch out for is not going too high, but going too low. If you go below the knee joint, you're not going to make anything happen either. You got to be right at that bend of the knee. And you're right at the bend of the knee, and you do the push with your body rising. Okay? Any questions on that? Good. Try that. There you go. Gives you more room to throw in.
Guys and gals and sheep and
Cats and dogs.
go to Surrey when we let everybody out in Surrey. Don't
Don't forget hamsters.
Fringe all the time.
I thought it was chili lights.
Chili lights all the time.
Okay, remember that motion earlier I said that you're going to see later on? Which is this just coming straight up motion and not leaning forward? Of course, that was yesterday. You probably don't remember that now. Huh? Yeah, what? What motion? Okay, you're going to do this coming up motion and you're going to open up again. Remember, it's like right out of Kotagaishi? Remember that one? Kneeling Kotagaishi? You're basically going to do that exact same entry. As they say in Indian, basically you're going to do the same thing. You're going to rise and turn. He is coming at you. He said, I've done 7 different techniques to you now, and none of them have worked. Fred, why there? Catch that.
Could somebody else choke?
Okay. So he's done 7 different techniques to you, and none of them have worked. So he finally says, I'm just going to walk up to you and just smack you in the face. He's going to try to do Shomanate to me. Boom. And take me out. Is that for me? It's for John.
It's for me? Who is it?
Okay. Okay. He's going to walk up to me and go 1, 2, 3, whether it's Sugiyashi or Ayumiyashi, I don't care. It's really not an issue. What's an issue is that he's thinking he's going to hit me with Shomanate, and he's aiming to take my face out. Okay? So he has to hit same hand, same foot, boom, when he hits me. Okay? So whether or not he does Sugiyashi or Ayumiyashi coming to this angle or direction out of him is not important. But what I need to look at and be able to see is, back up. This is mine, right here, correct? Now, don't move. What I need to be able to see is this my from down here. Because when he breaks that my, I need to be rising at that point. So I need to be able to see that angle, that position, that distance, whatever you want to call it. Actually, back up just a step. Right about there. Because I need to be here when he gets there. Okay? So that's one of the most important things to understand about this technique. That this is what kills the whole technique, is everybody rises too late. Okay, back up. What I'm going to do basically is Mayatoshi. This next technique is zip. You get this inside neat little butterfly and just send them out with Mayatoshi, but you don't do it because you can't get your whole other arm up. So you do it like a spear toss. Have you seen this? It's going to be left-sided front rolling break. So Brian walks up to me and goes 1, 2, 3, throw. Okay? It's not a, when I get to here, I'm making sure that his hand is twisted. That his hand is twisted as much as possible to sort of get him wound up. And I'm not doing this to his elbow, crank on it. I'm not levering on that elbow to try to do this to him. I'm taking both hands and I'm tossing him just like it's a spear. Tossing. Out. Okay? Back this way. One more time. Back up just a little bit. Back up. Not ready yet. He's getting a hurry on an old man. It takes me a minute to get down here. Okay? Okay, Brian goes 1, 2, 3, toss. Okay? Normally there's a stand up at this part, but for the sake of Tori, I'm not going to have you stand up, kneel down, stand up, kneel down. You would normally just toss and use his leverage that you generated and sucked into you as a lever to toss your own stuff up in the air. That's why an old bad man with bad knees can actually get up quickly on this technique. I'll do it once. Let y'all try it. I'll show you what happens. Back up. Here. 1, 2, 3. I'm using him to use his little microgravity to suck me up in the air with it. Okay? Questions on that? Like I said, the thing that's going to screw you up the most is timing. Is that distance. So when you get to here, come a little bit closer. Now, so you're going to end up finding yourself doing this. With your arms bent, like this, and then you're going to be going, and nothing's going to happen because he's already sucked that distance down real close to you. One more time. So I need to make sure that I see 1, 2, 3, zip. Okay? Question? All right. Get them tried out then.
They're like, we already know these.
Come on, say it. Are we all getting brain dead so we can get slap happy?
Yes, they're fear later. If we get through this,
Where?
somewhere.
Okay. I know there's a refrigerator Stolies upstairs. Okay, we're backing up again. Actually, we're jumping forward. Fast forwarding to the second set of the standing, which is now 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. These kind of sort of get complicated, but I'll try to make them as uncomplicated as possible. I think the best way to see it would be this one. Don't you think this one? Cameraman's like, well, I don't care. Just do it. Just get it over. Just do it. John moves to reach and grab my lapel. Yank. Right hand, right foot grab.
Excuse me, sir.
I know. I'm thinking again. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the chokes. Who starts the chokes, isn't it? Okay. You can edit that out, can't you? Yeah. Okay. Palma, right hand forward, yeah. This series. That's the series he's doing. Okay. I knew something. I said, why does this seem like familiar?
Try not to get the pulley trick.
That's right. Okay, as he comes in, let's turn this way so they can also see. As John comes in, theoretically, you don't want him to get this deep. Again, as a judo player, if he gets this deep on you, he's probably going to be choking you out before you can do anything else. Been there, done that, turn it. Except mine was a punch choke. I said, I'm just going to do the Nakikomi. Okay? That's against Mac McNeese, too. Anyway, John comes in to hit this cross choke. Nande Urijime. Okay? I bring both my hands up, just like this. Right hand to the outside. Just here. And bring your, just like that. Bring your thumbs up. Okay. You're gonna make zip, and they're kind of sort of. You see my hands like this? They're crossed. They're not like flat. Yeah, like that. Right hand to the outside. Just like that. So that when I come to do this, you're bringing your hands straight up. Yeah, that's going to be two wrists.
Two wrists. Oh, I'm getting the wrist.
Right.
Like
One wrist.
right here.
Yeah. All right. You'll see it in a second. John comes up to grab at me to do this choke. I raise both hands. See how they can, right there? They catch that bottom wrist in that thumb spot right there. Shoot. My two thumbs right there. Okay? From here, you see the line of his feet? I'm going to create an off balance out the line of that feet. Just a slight off balance. When you do the kata, Uke, you'll notice, will let go with his right hand. That's a safety factor. To keep him from breaking his own friggin' arm and wrist. Okay? You're going to duck under this arm. Keeping his grip to yourself. Right about here, you make contact with his arm. Step through. Lock into Haneri, which I'll show the camera in just a minute. And then you bring him out just like my two.
It's Mayatoshi, sir.
Yeah. Well, you can go to either one from this. The kata says Mayatoshi. Okay. From here, I will raise my right hand, and step out, and throw with my otoshi. Okay? We'll do it for the camera so you can see. Here, lock, withdraw down the line. Just for grades, I'm going to show you what happens if Uke doesn't let go.
That's uncool.
Okay? So that's why Uke lets go with that right hand. Okay? It's a safety issue. Yeah, as he reattaches his fingers back into the joints. Okay? So, he comes here. Zip. No, it's not too far. Latch. Retreat down the line of the feet. Retreat down the line of the feet. He says with a note of authority. Duck under this arm. Push. Raise. Mayatoshi. In that particular case, I didn't quite happen to have the Haneri. That's okay. He refused to let go. I still have the wrist lock in the Mayatoshi. Theoretically, theoretically, if you've done it right, when you duck under, do all these other motions here, you're going to have this Haneri right here. With this double wrist grab right here, you'll zip into Haneri. Okay? Any questions on that? Do I need to film in a couple of different directions?
Fine.
I have to redo it for Lisa because she wasn't here.
I was saying goodbye.
That's right. Goodbye is hard to do. One more time in this direction. In this direction right here.
Feet right.
One. Take the bottom hand. You notice it's not hand, then step. It's hands and step. And you're going down the line of his feet. Okay? That down the line of the feet is really cool stuff for the Kazushi part. Okay? Because if you just happen to have, you just happen to have a judo flashback, and he's latched hold of your lapels, and you go. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be doing Aikido. Get up! I am so sorry. That's right, I had a flashback, okay? So, down the line of the feet here, duck under as Uke releases his hand for safety reasons. I showed him earlier what happens if he does like a tick, okay? Get to here, push, Haneri grip. Haneri pops up all of a sudden, raise his hand, boom, and step into Mayatoshi. And the fun part about this is, you can ask my guys, every time I teach, and it just happened here for the sake of the camera, every time I teach this stupid kata, I go, is it 2 Mayatoshis in the Haneri or 2 Haneris in the Mayatoshi? I can never remember which one it is, because you end up here twice. This technique, and then later on he takes his hand, just take grab the hand. Then I'm ducking up under here, no, it's just this hand. I'm ducking under here and I'm doing this. Well, wait a minute, is it Mayatoshi? I mean, yeah, it's Mayatoshi or is it Kota Haneri? Which one is it? I forget. So every time I teach a stupid thing, it just happened. You can watch it. It just happened. I went, wait a minute. And so then you see me looking at the camera going, and the camera guy going, it's Mayatoshis or...
Okay, I'll do that one.
Okay, whatever you say, I'll throw that one. Okay? One last time. I think we're all getting
Slap.
we're all getting punch drunk or slap happy. 1, 2, push, 3, raise, throw, 4. Okay? Questions? Try that? Yeah. Correct. Okay, the next one is similar to one that you saw in the Big Ten when you for those of you who did Big Ten, where you're up here like this, and then Tori steps in and he comes across like this to get this choke, this thing. Well, he's going to try to kind of sort of do that to you. You're standing here minding your own business, and slowly but surely he's going to grab your hand, boom, and then try to run around behind you and go, and get you in that choke. There you go. Right, remember that from Big Ten? So, he takes the hand, and as he's slowly now, as he takes the hand, I do a 5th release motion. Zip, raise my hand, and do it through my touch once again. Man?
Is it the do-da?
Yeah. Do it again. And again, you'll also end up in a Haneri with this wrist right here. And you're not using the other hand. Just lock right into your chest with this Haneri. Now, it's not supposed to be all hurtful and painful. If you want it to be hurtful and painful, you look at it and go, what the hell is it? Okay? But it's not supposed to hurt and painful right here. It's just control. The other thing that'll help you is as you're ducking your... Remember the rule about this hand and foot move at the same time, same hand, same foot? Well, if this foot is moving, this hand has to work. This foot moves, this hand moves. This foot moves, this hand works. So you got hand going down, hand going up, and foot retreating all at the same time. Okay? So hand and foot are all moving at the same time. He takes it, first release, duck under. Oh, caught the other hand. Isn't that amazing? So he comes here, you move your hand like this. And John goes, oh yeah, this is going to hurt.
This is going to be cool.
But I won't do that to John since he was the one who wanted to do these techniques. I won't blast him with a Sumiyatoshi. I will let him do a rollout instead.
Huge airtime.
It would be big. Yeah. Whee! Yeah. Okay. One more time for this way. The camera need to see it this way? Or this way? Which way? This way. Right there. Up. Down. Roll out. Okay? The next one, we only got 2 more to go, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be done. We'll call this seminar done for this month. The next one is he comes around and he gets you in a bear hug from the back.
Right foot front.
Uh-huh. Right, left, and he goes, okay? Now, if he gets all the way to the part, you're probably SOL once again. Okay? In which case, hopefully, go ahead. Hopefully, again, you have what Harry and I were just discussing, which is a judo background, because you're not going to be able to go and break the grip. It's not going to happen once he's gone. So instead, you raise your hands up like this, and you do a knee drop. Say, oh, Yotoshi.
It rules. Very cool. It's an easy fall if you know it's coming.
Yeah. Otherwise, you land on your head and break your neck. Funny things happen. So the idea is not to let him get to part. So he comes around, and you go. Raise your shoulders up to shoulder level. Step out just a little bit. Get your hands so you can take. I partial to the left. I'm the kata says the left, but you could go this way if you wanted to. You can step this way and go this way. Okay. Depends if you have what the cycle of the moon happens to be in that day. Take your right hand, the opposite hand where you stepped. Take this wrist over here. Boom. Duck under. I love that word. Kota Hineri. From here, it's Tenkai Kota Hineri, right out of the textbook of the 17. Take it out, down, and the follow-up position. Okay? The only difference is how do you get there? Same church, different door. From here, it's a moot point. Right out of the 17. Okay? Questions on that? Again, if he gets to slow and it's too late, you just see if it's going to happen. I can't do it. Now, not with John at least. John uses that gym thing every day. What's that stupid thing? He uses a Bowflex every day. Yeah. I do 12-ounce curls. He does Bowflex, okay?
I do the 12-ounce curls too.
That's Bowflex in one hand, curls in the other, okay? So, it's not going to happen. John is an amazingly strong guy, so I can't be able to go... It's not going to work. No, that won't work, is it? Yeah.
There's the nasty kick punch thing where you pull your head back, but
Well,
you noticed I don't have my head right there.
Yeah.
Because I've had that happen before.
Okay? And then there's a nasty stomp on the instep of their foot, and then rake the shin with your dress shoes, and then reach up over here and pinch the little finger. Oh, there's all those nasty things. But that's stuff.
Cool.
But they're not as cool as grabbing the arm and doing a knee drop sail Toshi.
Okay. That is fine. Okay.
So the rule is don't let him go
Okay.
because it won't happen. Okay? Questions? Try that. It's the last one. Okay. John goes to move into me. He has failed 15 other times.
I almost got it! Since they stopped me with thumb only!
The force is strong in this one. Okay, so John goes down. Sorry.
Funny. Okay.
I do that occasionally. I don't know where it comes from. The magic power just magically appears. You will not possess. Okay. Sean Connery and Presidio. Did y'all see that movie?
I noticed you used your weak thumb.
My weak thumb. Sean Connery movie Presidio. He's like an army major, he's an army major, and he's investigating some sabotage, mystery, murder thing, military thing. And he goes into this bar and he gets a couple of these biker guys that want to fight with him, and he's in his uniform and Sean Connery says, I don't want to fight you, I don't want to fight you. So finally the guy says, okay, I will fight you, but I will only use my left thumb because my right thumb is much too powerful for you. Just, that's all he did. And this guy kept swinging, and he would like duck and go boom, and just like jabbing him in all these little nerve places with his left thumb. And finally it's the finishing touch, he used his right thumb. Pow! He said, I told you the right thumb was too powerful. Okay. John moves at me. 1, 2, I step off line. Oh. Kneel down, straight down. It's almost a showman entry. If you can do showman out there, you can almost get yourself the showman entry, but it's kind of sort of blown showman entry because he turns and drops on you, and you turn and drop. And you drive his hand to his knee. Now, if y'all remember earlier, that neat little thing about pressing on the inside of the knee, from the earlier technique, once I'm down here, I can let go with this hand because he's going to be trying to stand up and not reaching out here and trying to smack me upside the head. If I let go here, stand out here, and he releases and comes toward me with that hand, he throws himself that way.
Yeah, it is.
Okay? So if I'm pushing down violently, what's he going to do? He's going to react violently.
Whoa. That's weird.
Yeah. So I push down violently, because remember his whole body and everything was dropping stem straight. He's come at me and I'm going zip boom. You see that? He's going to launch himself that way. When he does, I let go. And then I push on the inside of his knee. Which is earlier when I was sitting down here and go tink on the knee, it's the exact same motion. Remember earlier, he was picking up with his leg over here. We'll just do that with him. Stay there. Okay? We're here like this. I'm kneeling down, and he put his weight there, and then he went to pick me up, didn't he? He rocked backwards, right? Well, I've just done this. I've just gone clunk. And now what's he going to do when I let go? He's going to rock backwards, isn't he? So what's the difference if I use this hand and do that, or if I use this hand and do that? Nada. So it just so happens I end up in this posture. Boom, like this. I let go of this hand. He reacts, and I push gently on the inside of his knee and sweep the ankle, and he falls down. Isn't that amazing, ladies and gentlemen? Can the camera see that? Okay. Now
It
from
never
here.
seems amazing when you're talking about it.
So now, what do? I switch hands and stand up. And now I threaten his happy ass with my hand. Yeah! Okay? But now, you see how he raised this hand? He was able to raise that hand because I picked his leg straight up. There's no threat to turn him over. But if I raise this hand and I start to come around this way, he's being turned over. Hence, he's going to raise this hand, isn't he? So I make a wide step around him this way and turn him over. Isn't that fun? So we're here. He goes ka-chunga, chunga, chunga. 1, 2, shoot. Boom. Boom. Now, here's where most people like to make a mistake. They will drop the leg and try to pull him over. Okay?
Yeah. You like to keep the leg.
Once you're here, I don't care who you are, stand up. And step backwards. Then let go of the leg. Flip him like a pancake. Natalie can do this to him. You can do this with your arthritic fingers, can do this, because all you're doing is standing up. Like here, here, stand up, turn him over. Lock the arm. Some people will let you lock it, some people won't, depending on how tight their shoulders are. Step in, knee lock, rotate one direction or the other. Most people, I think it's counterclockwise. Again, if he doesn't yell right away, go the other way.
I like to go that way.
Okay? Questions on that? It's real simple. Want to see it in the other direction? This way. 180. Over here. There you go.
Tone the line.
1, 2, drop, react, push, switch hands, strike, stand up, pull, lock, rotate. Ma'am?
I was just asking, you went, so I wonder, did I do that? I
Try that.
It's the G. It is the G.
Okay, well, I left this bottom here so the camera can. Hi, Mom. We're number one.
We won!
You should see the other guys.
I do ITO.
It's just a flesh wound.
Really, just come over here, I'll bite your ankles. Arr.
I feel like I could get on this side.
Okay, officially declaring this January seminar over. Now everybody feels refreshed, see? As soon as I cleared it over, your brain is cleared out, your body's relaxed because you know that there's cold beer waiting for you. Something like cold stolies in the refrigerator. I want to thank everybody for showing up. Wish there were more out-of-towners to show up, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But hopefully next time. I'll be in touch with Master President, Sir, Mr. Master President Sean to schedule the next clinic.
Actually, I have the calendar with me.
You know, if you establish a legal residence in Texas, I can change your name.
I changed my name regardless.
On a daily basis.
3 times a day.
Sometimes it's hourly.
Come please with Social Security.
Hey, there we go.
It's on, yeah, tape. Okay, so I want to thank everyone for showing up. Hopefully next time we'll have some more out-of-town schools. Gonna try to make arrangements to go to Lisa's and Brian's dojo at least once a month. Get up there, maybe at least once a month they can come down here since we're only 3 hour drive away. Please. If Emily can go to Dallas once a month, I can certainly go to Austin once a
Don't
month.
we have some people in Dallas?
I thought we did.
Allie down. But she's, I don't think Amanda's.
Allie's here by herself.
She's by herself.
So, alrighty. So, Harry said he has a calendar and we can go over dates as soon as we can bow out here so before everybody leaves. I'll have some dates if they're interested. Any other announcements, comments, criticisms, complaints, or clarifications from everyone?
We'd sure like to thank Sean for his.
Right.
Sounds good.
And if you see something on the ATAA mailing list,
Bring us all.
take it with a grain of salt. Trust me.
No matter how bad it is,
Okay?
hopefully it's really bad.
It's going to be something really, really bad. So if you see it, just know that it is not true.
Something
Since you were here.
that was stolen.
Right. Okay? So if you see something, just ignore it or laugh at it. But you don't put your 2 cents in. Yes, I was there. I saw that. Any more that you can build on the story that you're going to read, if you can build on it further, go for it.
Oh, that sounds.
But it has to be believable.
Oh, no aliens?
No space alien. No pink bunny rabbits.
Harry Wright grabbed you and you felt uncomfortable and Harry Wright touching you, and you felt uncomfortable about the places Harry Wright was touching you. And
Or what Harry Wright was touching you with.
How long it was.
And what he was touching you with. Yeah.
What he said.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it was your shoe with a newspaper. You don't have to go that far. You felt uncomfortable with Harry Wright touching you. You felt threatened. Okay. So if this goes out, you'll know what it's all about. Okay.
This is big.
Yes.
Oh,
You figured it out.
Oh, yes.
It's now we're playing.
It's trolling.
Trolling for alligators.
What's that other boy named Trouble and somebody else? His brother's name was Trouble.
His name was Sue.
Yeah, I'm looking for trouble. Yeah, are you looking for trouble? Yeah, I'm sure. All right, get scared. All right. Thank y'all very much. Beer 30?
Vodka 30.
Vodka 30. Yeah, we got to go upstairs and wake up more lady and get some vodka.
I can't believe she's not downstairs. What's she saying?
Not feeling well.
She ill?
Yes.